Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Recently, something caught my eye on the BBC website. Just about a week ago, I saw a headline that said, "Can physics prove if God exists?" Now, I am not a scientist, but I do have a keen interest in science. I love particularly when scientists can explain scientific processes and facts in plain English, so people like me can understand it. And so I was interested in this article. It was by Monica Grady, who is the Professor of Planetary and Space Science at the Open University. And Monica Grady is herself a believer in God. And yet she's saying that there have been those who have argued that it's impossible for God to exist because he breaks the laws of physics. Now, this is all to do with the way that time operates. For years, we looked at time as being quite straightforward. You start in the past and you work through to the present and you work on in a straight line to the future. But Einstein showed that actually, if you can move faster than the speed of light, then it is actually possible to stand outside of time. It's theoretically possible, if you could travel faster than the speed of light, for you to see what's happening in the future, or for you to travel into the past. Now, of course, scientists have said, but no, that's impossible. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. However, that isn't strictly true. The Bible says that God dwells outside of time. God dwells in eternity. He sees the end from the beginning. And so God is not bound by our concepts of time or past or present or future, because he is eternal and he dwells in eternity. Now it turns out that studying quantum mechanics, which is the study of how things work with very tiny particles in the universe, they've discovered that quantum information is transferred between subparticles instantly. In other words, at a speed greater than the speed of light. So these physicists that have confidently said, no, God can't exist eternally because nothing can travel faster than light, all they're really saying is they have never observed anything to travel at faster than the speed of light. But the fact that this quantum information can be transferred between particles faster than the speed of light suggests that, yes, there are things that can travel faster than the speed of light. And so that throws a whole new perspective upon God's existence. Now, of course, ultimately, physics cannot prove whether God exists. It cannot prove that God does exist. It can't prove that he doesn't. But some of the physicists that have so confidently said that it was impossible for an eternal God to know the end from the beginning are now having to eat their words and say, well, actually, we're beginning to discover we shouldn't have stated that quite so confidently. Now, I, for one, do not subscribe to the idea that somehow science is opposed to religion. Some of the greatest scientists have a strong religious faith and a strong faith in God. And I believe this, that what we discover about the universe, whether it's about the big things like the planets and the stars, or whether it's about the tiny subparticles, or whether it's about the amazing intricacies of human cells and everything else, they just create within me a greater sense of wonder at God's amazing creation and how he's made us and how he has created this universe. But nevertheless, we have an eternal God who stands outside of time. And the fact that these discoveries by Einstein and the discoveries of the people that are studying quantum mechanics, they open the door to saying you can be a scientist, you can be somebody who believes in science, and you can still have a strong faith in God. And I thank God today for scientists who are also Christians who are helping us understand the universe in which we live even better. Now, you're maybe like me. Maybe you're not a scientist. Maybe you'll never make any of these amazing, groundbreaking discoveries. But I would encourage you to keep that sense of wonder and keep that sense of awe at what God has created and what a wonderful work He has done in this universe around us. May God never allow us to become complacent about that. May God always have us filled with a sense of reverence and awe at how amazing and how majestic He is, whatever physics might say about Him. May you be blessed today and join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.